Thank you very much, Chew Boy. Here we go then. So this is the big one. This is what we work for. You know, all these players work for to be part of this tournament, to get all the way to the end. $35,000, Richard, to whoever wins this two-legged game of FIFA.
Yeah, massive, massive prize. And the #1 seed for the grand finals will be decided in this next game between Nicholas and Marv.
Well, without further ado, I think it's time to introduce those players. This man, 10-0 in the competition, unbeaten in Swiss-style format, unbeaten in this competition in general. It's Nicolas from Argentina, and more importantly, from Transfer Market. German players came to Amsterdam, and only one man remains, one man with a plan to try and take down this Argentine. It's Marv from Bayer Leverkusen. Proud moment this is, to be here, to be representing the best FIFA players in the world in this huge grand final, with all the lights, with all the camera and all the action yet to be displayed. What would you be feeling if you're up there right now?
Nicholas knows exactly what he's feeling. He's been here before, in Barcelona, this exact moment against F2 Techs. On that occasion, he lost 9 goals to 3. Will it be a different story for him in Amsterdam?
More importantly, he just has not lost a game yet. 20 games of FIFA he's played, obviously, over the course of 10 fixtures. And the question really is now, who can go the extra mile? Who can go and win this next two-legged game of FIFA? $35,000 to whoever wins it. Nicholas, hood up there, he's ready to play. But if you're wondering how these two got here, Richard, please take it away.
Yeah, Nicholas, 6-2, 7-2. And then in the quarterfinals, it started getting a little bit more tense for him. A 3-2 win over Stefano Pina, and then a 3-2 win over Marcuso. On the other side of it, Marv, 5-3 victory, 7-2 victory, a 7-6 very narrow decision on penalties against Dito, and then we just saw in the semi-final, 6-5 win over Webb. Both of them, as soon as they've started coming into the latter stage of the competition, the results have become more narrow.
And well then, Amsterdam has been the stage for 64 players, as we mentioned. Day 1, survival day, literally just survive in Swiss-style format. Day 2, book yourself a place in the grand final in London. And day number 3, it goes without saying, decision day, to find who will be #1 seed and the winner of the PlayStation side ahead of that grand final in London coming up in August.
Megabit did it on the Xbox. He's the #1 seed for the grand final in London. Who's going to be the grand final #1 seed on the PlayStation 4? Is it going to be Nicholas, or is it going to be Marv? We're 2 games of FIFA away from finding out.
But does it add a factor in there? Nicholas has not lost a game yet, Rich. I know he's been close a few times and he's had a few hiccups along the way, but he hasn't lost. In his head, that losing factor isn't there.
He's unbeatable. In his own head, he's invincible. He's Nicholas. But can Marv, has he got the game plan? Has he got the master plan to unlock Nicholas's door?
16 German players qualify. That's a quarter, Richard, of all the players on PlayStation that got here. And for one of them to make that final and to maybe represent the nation proud. But Nicholas, an unbelievable year from Barcelona to Manchester to Amsterdam as he comes forward now, looking to start early. I'm sure he'll be looking to go the full way. Yes, he won the PlayStation side of things in Barcelona, but he did lose that big final against F2 Techs.
He didn't only lose it, he got humbled in the final. 9-3, he lost in the end, Brandon. Over 2 legs against Tech. So on this grand final, when the fireworks are there, when the hype music is on, when you're introducing him, maybe it's just a little bit too much for him. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, here we go then. Ronaldo for Marv, if you didn't already, represented by Leverkusen from the Bundesliga.
I guarantee those other 15 German players who came, all supporting him right now.
Even Dito, that lost on penalties against him, will still be there supporting him. He lost in the quarterfinals against Marv. And then Webb from Japan didn't really know the play style he was going to be coming up against. Did Marv? He did it. He played well, nearly lost out. But then so did Nicholas. They've all been on a journey to get to this final.
Yeah, it's not been plain sailing for either of them coming into the grand final. 11 minutes gone. And Nicholas playing with that 4-2-3-1. Nothing changes for him. Just keeping hold of the ball. He likes to have a lot of possession. I imagine that Luis Suarez leading the attack for him.
Here he comes now inside with Suarez. Just an effort that was deflected away by Sergio Ramos. If you wonder what we're playing on FIFA Ultimate Team, the competitive game mode. And for the Global Series this year, of course, wouldn't be possible without the guys at PlayStation. Put together this huge global tournament, 32 opportunities to get to this stage. If you saw the Xbox side of things, Megabit, he was the winner there. And will we see another German winner on this side?
Potentially so. It's either going to be Germany or Argentina. A potential World Cup final clash in real life happening on the virtual pitch in FIFA 18 here for our very own eyes in Amsterdam. Marv qualified for this tournament through the last chance weekend. On the other side of it, Nicholas qualified all the way back in Barcelona in January. So he's known he's going to be competing at the playoffs for quite a long time.
Both have had that taste, as you said. They both made it to the knockout stages in Barcelona, in Manchester. They've been with the competitive scene since the beginning, since the first opportunities they could. So that means they were both playing the game to a very high level in November during that first qualification month. But right now, quite a slow and a quiet start that we're not used to seeing from Nicholas.
This is what we're expecting. It's very similar to what happened on the Xbox side of things between Megabit and Rafsu. 0-0 at half-time in that game in the first leg. Very tentative start from both of the players. Not a lot of risks taken.
Well, you wouldn't want to at the end of the day.
You don't want to make a mistake early on.
You wouldn't want to give up the first goal either. Maybe this is a game plan for Marvi. You know, he probably would have spoke to the other 15 German players saying, how can we just try and defeat, you know, a player that's just so good in the competitive system? You know, Nicholas, no one really plays against him. Apparently, as you said, Richard, just doesn't play against other pros.
Only player that he has trained against, Webb. And look where he's finished. Top 4.
Well, he got knocked out by Marv, didn't he? A lovely ball through there. Ronaldinho inside again. A last-minute tackle.
That's such a bad mistake.
David Ayer. Marv not happy there, shaking his head. Well, that is
the only mistake I was talking about. He's just tried playing it out from the back. Nearly got caught by Nicholas. I guarantee that will not be happening again for Marv. He's been let off the hook early doors.
You talk about big performances in big games, Richard. David Ayer. Unbelievable save. They knew nothing really about that to the back post now for Marv. Oh! What a way to start the final. From nearly conceding down one end to scoring a spectacular goal down the other. Neymar on the half volley.
That lob through ball is a thing of magic. I didn't really see the pass myself. Marv did. Picked it out through the eye of a needle. And then who else? Neymar to volley home for Marv.
Panic now for Nicholas.
No, you can't panic. He's been in this position before against Stefano Pina. He's had those road bumps on the journey to the final.
The #1 seed coming out of Swiss-style format, 7-0 as you mentioned, beat Lucas in round of 32 to get himself that grand final spot. Round of 16 took down Yimi. Then, as you mentioned, Stefano Pina in the quarterfinals, and then Manchester City's Marcuso to get to this stage. And currently, he's 1-0 down in this one.
I guarantee Nicholas will not start to panic. He'll just carry on playing the way that he does. 35 minutes gone. Expect not a lot of changes.
It's a two-legged game as well, Richard. We need to remember inside now.
There we go.
Straight like that. Back with a bang.
Nicholas doing Nicholas type things. Instant reply. Low driven with Ronaldo into the bottom corner. And we've got a level game after 35 minutes.
Made it look so easy, so... He's used to doing that. Week in, week out in your weekend league. And now he's not doing it in Argentina anymore. He's doing it in Amsterdam. And look, there's a head nod from him. The first bit of emotion we've actually really seen from him, other than a smile when he seems to win every game.
Luis Suarez, the goal scorer. Been a big advocate for him all tournament long.
But just the way he presses the ball as well, you can see how he's changing player, probably using that right stick just to switch from player to player, trying to track all the runners. The anticipation needs to be a little bit better though. As Marv comes on the attack, R9, he'll look for an overlap. Instead uses Vieira, just trying to slow it down and wait for the chance to pounce. Marcelo into Messi. Let it roll across your body if you want it to. Inside, again, Neymar to R9, finesse!
Great block from Sergio Ramos, getting out, closing down the danger. Just trying to keep the ball, kept it moving across side to side. He's flicked Ramos at the front post, nothing coming of it for Marv. Nicolas not going to rush the attack, just keep hold of the ball.
He was close there as well to nearly getting that front post flick on. As you mentioned, Ramos stood strong, jumped iron, and stopped that.
Yeah,
when he
manually
could.
switched on to Sergio Ramos with his right stick to control him, bring him into that front post area and try and win the header that way around. A little bit more control over the corner.
Well, added time between the two, and it's 2 minutes of it. Ronaldinho into the box. Oh, he's just sliced him open.
He's carved him open, Brandon. That pass is so acute. It's like a protractor. He just slid it in. Look at that pass. Not everybody sees that. Only the very best see that. And Nicolas is at the top of his game.
What a way to go into half-time. Still no reaction from that man. If he wins this tournament, I expect to see some kind of emotion from him. And there we go, half-time between the two. Nicolas 2-1 up. Marv back to the drawing board and needs to find another plan.
Perfect time to score for Nicolas on the stroke of half-time. Puts him 2-1 up at the break in the first leg. It is a two-legged game like all the games have been over the course of the year. Really, going back to the Winter Cup in Barcelona, the Spring Cup in Manchester, and now we're at the playoffs. The only way to get into the E-World Cup Grand Final in London.
You can just see the journey that Nicolas has been on. Yeah, that's
All
all
green.
green. Win, 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 win. 10 wins. He's got himself 63 goals, only conceded 24. He averages 5 or over 5 goals a game, Richard.
Yeah, the 24 goals against is the real important stat that I think his success rate has come from. Just doesn't concede a lot of goals.
We'll make that 65, of course, Richard, in this game. 2 more to be added there. Maybe he's looking to take the 70 goals mark.
Defence wins titles.
Just looking here, the highest goal scorer is FIFA Houston still. 73, so after a two-legged game, he could be the top goal scorer of the PlayStation side of things, from what we've seen, all the action in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it'd have to be a really good display in that second leg from either of these two players.
Oh, lovely threaded through ball. Neymar. The Brazilian that did score for Marv in that first half. Will we trying to create something? No. For Nicolas in this one, as we mentioned in interviews, he said he doesn't really enjoy using Argentine players like Messi, Sergio Aguero, team of the season. Says they don't work for me, and everyone's to their own preference.
You see Kante still in his team after all this time, that team of the year Kante. Very hard to take out. He's got the unbelievable interceptions, the aggression, the slide tackling, the stand tackling. He's got everything you want in a CDM. Only thing really you're lacking is that height, but he makes up with it with the mental and the physical side of his game.
Here comes Nicolas again to the back post. If Ronaldo was lurking there. We'll win a corner though. I believe it might have been Marcelo that just did enough to go down for a corner. Played short, as you mentioned, that Kante he's a big fan of. Whipped into the box. And straight back to the path of Nicolas. He recycles exceptionally well. Ramos now in a very unfamiliar position, very clever there, just to get rid of the ball off from him. Otherwise he'd be out of position and he could be in a horrible position for a counter-attack. Suarez all the way across to Ronaldo! Makes it look so easy, so routine.
And that is the 4-2-3-1 for you. You can play it into your striker, into your cam, and then really play with the wide men in. If you've got someone, he plays Ronaldo out wide. That enables him low-driven shots straight across the goalkeeper. It makes it look so simple, does Nicolas. He does everything just perfectly at the minute. It's a real joy to watch him play FIFA. The way that he just dismantles his opponents.
just when he can play with the confidence that he does, even in huge games with huge stakes like this, Richard, as we speak about so much throughout the course of this two-legged game, it's $35,000 if you win it, and you're going in as top seed, you're going in as the best player potentially in the world from the PlayStation side of things, aren't you?
Yeah, it'll be the top dog really going into London. That also means he'll have a target on his back. Even if he didn't win this tournament, he's still got a target on the back. Xbox players say he's the best FIFA player in the world. PS4 players say he's the best FIFA player in the world. And this is just perfect example of him backing it up on the big stage. That's not a self-proclaimed title. That's what other people, his peers, are saying about him.
Well, if he goes the full way here, don't get me wrong, it's still so early on in the two-legged side. We look back to Barcelona. Won the PlayStation side, yeah, against Stranger, but then lost to FTX in that big final. Went out in the semi-finals against Ice Vogel, the Kingfisher. Unfortunately, isn't in this final. Has had the best tournament in Amsterdam. So really, if he can go the full way here, it'd just be like Megabit a little bit. Getting so close on a number of times, but Marv will have other ideas. It's still such a long time before the game is concluded as Marv comes forward now with R9. Just, I think, was in two minds about what to do, shoot or cut back.
And you saw Marv's semi-final. He were 4-0 up in the first leg. Webb brought it back. He knows that you can't count anybody out on this game.
That one's just punched away by David De Gea. Only in the first leg between the two. Vieira into Neymar. Even a goal for Marv going into that second game would be huge for him. As he comes forward now. Oh, lovely. First time ball there. All the way to the edge of the camera. Neymar again. Ooh! Inches.
Flashed past the post from Neymar. That had to go in for Marv if he does want to try and spring this comeback back against Nicolas.
And chances he won't get many of them. He will not get many chances like that.
They're at a premium.
Nicolas.
They're at a premium against Nicolas.
We look at every single player that played against Dito in the past,
so
including Marv. If anyone, he can use chances to the best way possible. We're talking about the 95% chances, and speaking to a few other German players coming to this, apparently the way that Marv is just, when he has an attack, he'll make it into the best chance possible. We talk about, the shots that work, the methods of scoring in the best angles and the best situations.
He might not create a lot of chances, but he creates very, very high potential scoring chances. He's not going to have 15 shots on target a game. He might have 5 and score 4 of the 5 that he creates. That's the way that he's winning his games. Look at some of the results. 6-2, 7-2, 5-3.
An incredible way, he's just come through this tournament. On paper, you could have said Nicolas was in the handful of favourites, but out of all the German pros, again, it's one of those nationalities that's really hard to be spotted, especially in the FIFA esports scene. 16 players were here, Richard. 16 fantastic FIFA players.
And it's just putting a great spotlight on Marv. Not only him, Bayer Leverkusen as well.
Who would have made that move into esports, taking that risk in Germany. And all the lights and all their eyes are on them at this moment in time. Look at, trying to defend there of Kyle Walker is Nicolas. Very clever, just jockeying to ensure that ball was played inside.
So he's just backing off with Kyle Walker with the jockey button. You see the way he defends. Pretty much never presses circle. He will never lunge for the ball, only when he knows that he's got a 100% chance of winning it back.
Nicolas right now can just relax, maybe see out this game, but he'll probably be looking for another goal. If he can go into it, 4-1 up, 3-1 up, with the best possible advantage he can. Going to be some job for Marv as he gives away a corner, and a pause has been cued. We're on Nicolas's side here for his team management to see what changes are being made. Just basic ones, it looks like, just from moving players from a centre to a right, mixing up the cam and the striker.
Yeah, I think it might be an R9 coming off for Nicolas. Potentially, does have 81 stamina, that prime Ronaldo. Suarez in at cam, it looks like, for Nicolas. You see the stats there, 7 shots, 6 on target for Nicolas. Scored 3 of the 6 shots on goal that he has made.
As you can see there, a packed venue here in Amsterdam to support these two players all the way to victory. And you saw the seed in there for the groups in that grand final. Everyone's playing for it. After this game, all attentions turn to London in a few months' time.
Yeah, the groups will be announced. the pre-match hype will start, the pre-tournament hype will start.
That ball's played short again. Maybe the last real attack in this first game. It's going to fall to Nicolas. Playing in that orange strip as we've seen him do throughout all the tournaments this year. Oh, just trying to cut him open. With that pass, Marv shaking his head saying, how's that possible? How's that one come off? Didn't expect it. But Nicolas, unpredictable in the way he plays FIFA. Always making players second guess when they defend. Ronaldo drags, bang, scores another. And even a little cheeky celebration to follow that one up as well.
Little finger wag from Nicolas. You rarely see any reaction from him, but he knows that is a big goal. We talk about the 3-goal deficit. It's very hard to overturn in the second leg. We've seen it in lots of tournaments we've covered, Brandon, this year on the road to the playoffs, the GFIN Elite Series, going back to the Winter Cup, to the Spring Cup. If you've got a 3-goal deficit, it's extremely hard to turn over.
It's all business for Nicolas as well. 3-goal advantage. You're thinking there, Marv, when he conceded that, you just saw him shake his head like, what else can I do? What can I do to defend that? Incredible play by Nicolas.
He scored just on the stroke of half-time, and he's just scored on the stroke of full-time. I wonder if he times when he's scoring a goal.
Well, if he is, he's timing them in the best possible way. Still a second leg to come. Nicolas actually wants to score another goal, it seems. 4-1 up he is. He comes forward again. He scores another one. That could be game over. No, it isn't. Nicolas just in front here in Amsterdam. 4-1 up in the first game. 3 goals needed. Look at Marv. Just seems exhausted after that game.
He'll be thinking, what do I have to do to try and beat this man? We matched up in Manchester. Let's not forget Nicolas and Marv. Nicolas on that occasion beat him 8-4. First leg 4-1. It's going the same sort of way.
And there we go. That concludes game number 1 here in Amsterdam. There's still that second leg between the 2 finalists. Will it be Nicolas going the full way, or will the German be able to bring out a comeback? Goals are needed at least for extra time for Marv, and you saw that goal that Nicolas scored right at the end of the game. Marv was just like, right, what do I have to do here? Because you are literally a machine.
I'd say that Marv needs to start strong, but he started strong in the first leg, then conceded 4 goals. So, I mean, score 3, concede none, take it to extra time, scab a penalty shootout maybe?
Try and get yourself to extra time would be one hell of an achievement if he can do that, but Nicolas will be full of confidence again. He has not lost a game. I've just said that losing mentality is no way near this Argentine. This Argentine at the moment, there's no way near this losing mentality. If he's got a coach, a personal one that's getting him through this tournament, I'd love to know.
That's the classic Nicolas. The hoodie just wasn't quite correct. Little switch, Turtle Beach on, it's game time.
Why have we seen him play throughout this FIFA 18 competitive season? Hood up, headphones on, just playing the way he can. 4-2-3-1 will be the formation for Nicolas as well in that blue strip against Marv. If you didn't know already, represents Bayer Leverkusen in Germany. And we've got 90 minutes to try and find a comeback. All straight away, free at the back from Marv.
Yeah, into a 3-5-2 from kickoff. The thing is with the 3-5-2, it's very, very tough to play against if you're not matching it. If you're not matching up the 3-5-2, sometimes your opponent can get the better of you. Got an Icelandic clap behind me for Marv, I think that is. He's German, but I'll take it.
Oh, fantastic atmosphere here in Amsterdam at the moment. But imagine if we see a comeback from this German in Marv. A grandstand finish it would be. As Marv comes forward now with Marcelo. If you're thinking if Nicolas gets the first goal, it could be game over. The mental battle that we always talk about so much, psychological side of FIFA, esports, and any sport in general. When you're 3 goals behind already, we talk about the margin of comebacks. 3 goals is the maximum.
He'll be coming to this second leg quite dejected already, but you've seen the 3-5-2 change. He believes that there is a chance of a potential comeback in this game for him. If Nicolas scores the first goal, but not only score the first goal, but controls the game in the way that he can do, I find it very, very tough to back Marv, to be honest, and get back into this game.
Well, Nicolas now with Ronaldinho, ball across there, he's looking for R9. Rio Ferdinand had other ideas though, just to get rid of it.
Look for the constant switches of play from left to right with the 3-5-2. He's going to have the extra man playing from the left CDM to the left mid, the right CDM to the right mid, into the cam, out to the right mid. That's where the space is going to be for him if he wants to get back into this game.
Pull it. This is a chance for Marv now. Went low driven on the rebound. R9. He can't get there either. Ramos will make the block.
Yeah, and just swarming R9 there around him, making sure he doesn't get any rebounds.
As you can see, the road to the FIFA E World Cup Grand Final. It's in London. These two are already there, happening in August. This is to be the #1 seed. As we know, it'll be a group format, 4 groups of 8.
Megabit's the #1 seed on the Xbox. That was decided earlier on in the week. Will it be Nicholas or Marv going in with the #1 seed on the PlayStation 4?
And walking away with $35,000. Suarez for Nicholas. Quite a nervy start from both of these. I'll say more in the half of Marv, to be honest, because if he concedes, it technically could just be game over. 4 goals behind. I know you see comebacks in FIFA sometimes, but a player at Nicholas's level.
Yeah, everyone considers Nicholas the best in the world, so if he does throw away a 4-goal lead, I think there'll be some question marks over that.
Neymar. Into Vieira. This is Marv on the attack, the German pro from Bayer Leverkusen. Needs 3 goals and could really do it with 1 or 2 before half-time as he's trying to find just a way through this back line. Look at Nicholas is defending there, trying to just force him wide, force him out of the situation. He's done exceptionally well so far, but this attack isn't over yet. Inside R9, offside off the post.
So Nicholas played the offside trap, but then he manually brought his centre-back into the gap. So everyone else squeezed up because he knew we were going to try and play a ball across the box. That's where the men were going to be blocking it. He then had his own player, Sergio Ramos, just sat on the penalty spot, waiting if there were a cross into the box. He's arguably got the best header defensively to clear his lines. Very, very clever from Nicholas.
But at the same time with that, we know that Marv is a player that will not waste a chance. He will try and get into the best possible situation. Hence why it was playing along the box, going out wide if he needs to, come back inside, hit the post there, but he's not going to get many of those chances in this game. And Nicholas might even get a goal himself as he comes forward. Wins a throw-in.
A third of the game gone already. That egg timer is slowly ticking away for Marv. The sand is sipping through his hands.
Just the space on the edge of the box he needs to be careful of. How many times have we seen Ruud Gullit, the prime icon, score goals from distance? Luis Suarez inside, oh, on the rebound! Surely that could be game over. Nicholas, if there was a check with $35,000 on it, surely that's one hand on it.
Yeah, write it in pencil, not in pen yet, don't biro it in, but just write it in pencil, because it looks like with 4-goal deficit, Nicholas is taking it home.
And from one end, Marv striking the post. He's just conceded down the other, and now he's 4 goals behind.
Got quite fortunate with the finish. The rebound fell for him, Nicholas, and then make no mistake on the second try.
Just seems like a bit of a
uphill battle right now for Marv.
Maybe just too much of a task to ask for Nicholas to somehow give up this lead. He just needs to be defending better, Nicholas. Defending better first and foremost. And if he needs to, I'm sure he'll be looking to score more goals as he's come forward once again, just to rub salt in the wounds in this one. But Marv, just if he scored maybe, or just stopped the goal in the 90th minute in the last game, would have scored the chance to hit the post.
On the overlap again with the 3-5-2, that's the width that he needs to try and exploit if he wants to get back into this game. Needs a goal before half-time, does Marv.
Well played by Marcelo there.
Looking to do the...
He'll remember that.
The same goalkeeper that Tex utilised him so well in that grand final.
However, he doesn't have to deal with the level of skills, you know, that were on show from F2 Tex. An incredible tournament in Barcelona, was so unpredictable, so unstoppable. Marcelo so high, he's out of position now. I know he's only playing free at the back. You can see the change now of the way he's trying to press for the ball in 2s and 3s. Half time to come in this second leg. 4 goals are needed. Look for that through ball. He's going to play it. Is he going to find it? R9. He's right round him in the right side. Ball across to the back. Play it back across now. Oh my, nearly on the half. Acrobatic, you could say. Half time. Nicolas still in control. 45 in-game minutes left. And so close.
Just shows the dominance of Nicolas on the PS4 at the minute. This is the toughest tournament so far of the year, and he's not dropped a game. The man that's trying to defeat him, though, in the grand final, Marv, 64 goals scored in the tournament so far, 52 he's conceded. What does he need to do in the second half to have any chance of forcing a comeback, Brandon?
He needs to try and score a few more goals. We know he can score goals there, you can see. 64 goals. And the player has scored there. You can see the crowd looking excited, getting.
Marv needs some support behind him from the crowd if he wants to get back into this game.
You can see it split in 2 halves as well. Maybe one half fans of Marv, the other want to see Nicolas go the full way. And you mentioned, Richard, a few times about players that go just unbeaten throughout a tournament. Doesn't normally happen. There's always a hiccup or a loss on the way. Nicolas hasn't done that. He's won every game. Every challenge has been put in front of him. Call it 11 challenges, including this final. At the moment, he's on to beat everyone.
He's done the job every single time. Might not be the prettiest way. Might be a 3-2 victory in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals. But that doesn't matter. All that matters is he's in the final. He's got the W next to his name. And he's dispatched every opponent put in front of him.
68 goals scored as well throughout the tournament for Nicolas. Up there is one of the top 5 scorers so far, you could say. Fifa Houston registered quite a few himself. Back across goal. Ronaldo for Marv, inside to Messi. 53 minutes on the clock. And 3 goals needed
to force extra time. Marv, stern-faced, great little spin inside. One more touch out of his feet and then slotted past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. Expect Nicolas just to keep holding the ball now, 10, 15 minutes maybe. Try and just kill this game off. Kill the momentum of his opponent.
I'm trying to think back to a situation, Richard, where Nicolas has been in a league tournament and he's really suffered the mental battle, or like being in a situation where he's been in front and gave up a lead. I honestly cannot think of one. Other than, if you look back here on paper, he played against Icebogel, lost to him 4 goals to 3. And Icebogel was playing in some incredible form. I don't think he's been in a position where he's been 4 goals up and gone, going lost. It hasn't happened this year. It's not happened in the competitive structure.
Will it happen right now?
Well, it could do. He's playing free at the back. We know Marv scored the goal of Messi. Every single goal you scored just gives you that little bit more confidence, maybe that little bit more belief in the way you play, just to say, you know what, maybe I can get myself back in this. 30 minutes left. Don't get me wrong, it could happen. We just need to see a goal in the next 5 in-game minutes, I think.
If you are a Marv fan, you're willing him on right now, but Nicolas just seems to be one step ahead of his opponent. Gretzka stepping in there and winning the ball back.
Said the addition of the team in the season FUT item. Number of fans here watching all the action you can see on the screen. Below from all over the world. Players as well that maybe went out the competition, and great to see they're still here supporting.
Players, fans, coaches, managers.
Family even. Here to support you, go the full way, potentially. And become a winner. Top seed from the FIFA World Cup Global Series playoffs in Amsterdam. The last day of the action, we saw all the Xbox action unfold early on in the week. The RAF 2 megabit final, it was megabit. Went the full way there, $35,000 that man achieved. And as you mentioned, Richard, time is running out. Not long left. I said I really need to see a goal before the 70th minute, if anything, for Marv. But look how he's defending Nicolas. Just look, the way he's changing his players' control in the midfield. I can see Leon Gretzka in there as well, being controlled.
Just bodies behind the ball for Nicolas. He's looking to just intercept the
He's
passes as they
opened him
come
up.
through.
He's opened him up.
Great
Kante.
defending.
Incredible.
Last-ditch defending from Kante. Just held his position really well. Marked that run in behind, and that's the interceptions, the marking that someone like Kante can bring to your team.
Pause has been made by Marv, but that's just to get in the custom tactics, to get the aggression high.
Get into a 3-4-2-1, throw everything forward. During the grand final, there's nothing
to lose.
worth losing for right now.
You'd still be second seed if you do lose this game.
You may as well go for it.
With some good prize money. To be the second best player out of the 64 on PlayStation is one hell of an achievement. Nicolas wants to score more though. Wants to ensure there's just no way possible on paper for a comeback. And you look at Megabit's year, how he's been consistent on the Xbox. You need to look at Nicolas's year as well.
That is Mr. Consistency right there.
Look at the heart rate as well, whether it's worked into his favour. Beats per minute on your screen now. Sometimes you need that little extra bit of adrenaline to push you on through in a big game with so much at stake. Doesn't show much emotion, Nicolas, we know that. But surely after a win here, a #1 seed to his name, we'll see a little bit of emotion from him. Marv still waiting for that pause. You've got to be thinking as every second passes, there's no chance for a comeback, no chance. Unless...
He's won himself a corner, 7 minutes left on the clock.
So we can't see the changes being made from Marv. However, Nicolas, what does he need to change? He's winning.
Yeah, just keep it as it is at the minute. You just defend 1 or 2 more attacks from Marv, and you are the #1 seed, and you've got $35,000 to your name.
4-2-3-1 in action for him, and everyone's had their own formation, their own way of playing throughout the tournament here.
Nicolas stuck with that formation all the way through the tournament. On the main stage, he's been here before. A 9-3 loss last time we were here in Barcelona. See there, the overhead shot. This time round, looks like it's going to be a victory on the main stage in the final for Nicolas.
We always say sometimes you need to get to these finals, get to the LAN events, get that experience. A huge outbreak here, you could say, for Nicolas. Summer transfer market. The Argentine, it's been all the events this year, all the majors. The Winter Cup, the Spring Cup. And he'll be in the grand final, as we know. And he's seconds away from being the top seed on PlayStation. The Argentine, will he try and defend this one though? Hill to hill from Marv, penalty! However, in the complexion of this game, how much will it really change?
I think it will just be a consolation goal for Marv. Too little, too late. Kante just getting on the wrong side of Ronaldo. It's R9 stepping up.
If Nicolas saves that, I was going to say that could have been a horrible ending. Marvel score, 2 goals behind still. I just find it hard to see a way back in this unless he got a goal before added time, and then there was a +3 added minutes.
It would have to be an absolute capitulation from Nicolas if Marv got back into this game. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. You doubt Marv will even get a touch of the ball in the last remaining seconds of the game.
As you know, this is Nicolas's to lose. If he gives away possession, which he won't, you will keep it. Stay composed, relax on the ball. Added time to come, referee, and then we can find our top seed from the PlayStation side in Amsterdam after 3 days of goals, upsets, last-minute equalisers, winners.
Drama.
Yeah, you could say that. Maybe one more goal for Nicolas to the back post till it's there on the rebound for Kante. Inside, no he's not. And there we go, congratulations to Nicolas. There's the emotion, there it comes out. Has he just hit him that he's a winner now? He's been to the finals, there's no more second best. You're a winner, you've earned $35,000 and your top seed in London.
So why not say time and time again, the bridesmaid, but never the bride. Nicolas, find this man a groom right now, because it's his big day. What a performance.
Victory for the man who has been unbeaten in this tournament. Every single challenge, every single time he's been questioned, he's given you an answer. Win after win after win. Make that 11-0, Richard. 22 games of FIFA.
Flawless. Nicolas has been flawless in this competition, Brandon. Deserved victory in the grand final against Marv. You see a big smile from him.
We've been waiting to see it throughout the 3 days of action here in Amsterdam. Throughout the whole competitive year, maybe it's just sunk into him that he's one of the best players in the world. One of the best newcomers to the FIFA scene. And you should be scared of this man if he's in your group in London.
Every single person in London has got their eyes set on Nicolas. He is the man to beat in the grand finals.
Well, this is what you give up, Richard. You give up all the time, hours after hours. You know when your parents can be saying, maybe don't play too much FIFA. That's what you play for, the extra hours on there. Every single weekend league game, all that, all for moments like this. And commiserations to Marv that you can see on your screen. He's still a finalist. He'll still be the second seed, walking away with some fantastic prize money. And that was the first goal in the second leg, just to kind of just near enough conclude the game a little bit.
Yeah, just to kill off the game. That made it 5-1 on aggregate. Marv did show a little bit of a comeback. He actually got a victory against Nicolas. He beat him 2-1 in the second leg, so that is something to take away. It's a confidence builder. Nicolas isn't invincible. He's suffered a couple of defeats in a couple of legs here and there. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, he's the rightful winner. He's been unbeaten, flawless in the tournament.
Well, enough from us, Richard. An incredible final, 180 minutes of FIFA action over these fantastic 3 days here in Amsterdam. But that man is on the couch with your winner, Jimmy Conrad.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm here.